Okay, all right. Did the webinar energies, and then Priscilla's here. Focus here. Co-host. All right. The event next level of consciousness. I just used the event. It's been a while since I've seen that. Whatever. I'm just waiting for YouTube to start banning that. They ban everything. Guys like to. I'm glad they don't call it fun tube because it definitely doesn't have that. That's for sure. More like a lifeless tube, more like it. I guess it's not much different than the spirit world because there's aspects of the spirit world are pretty lifeless. So anyway, but the next level of consciousness is basically you can do that anytime. So, but it's something that I have connected to. We'll just see where that goes. And also planet Neptune frequencies is basically a channel planet. And get its perspective of our reality and whatever it needs to, moon cycle frequencies or whatever it needs to. We've run through that. All right. Show cat. We're trying to get into everything. Okay, so let's see 1 second here. I'm getting very far here. There you go. Alright, so I tell comment price sessions. Scheduler here. And then we have a shop here. And I just had the webinar energies, and you can find a link here. Let us sign up if you like. Okay. The cat. She can't decide where she's going. She's coming or going. She's going left, she's going right. She doesn't know. All right, we're going to the event energies, or I guess just the eclipse frequency. We'll just keep going with that. And it connects to the next level of consciousness, basically higher consciousness, and then going to planet Neptune energy. So the kind of did the eclipse kind of to death, but I haven't channeled actually the eclipse itself, so we'll just tap into aspects of that. So all right, here we go, blessings. Greetings is the consciousness of the eclipse, but also higher dimension versions of yourself. Yes, the eclipse is there to clear out old energies, old versions of yourselves, but to bring higher aspects to a certain level, not everything, of course, because you're here to understand the lower aspects of why this world was even created. Of course, you don't have to go into those details, but basically it's you're learning on the physical and the non-physical. The physical does have a purpose, will always continue in some aspect of some reality. And of course, many want to put the end to the physical realms. The world comes to an end, it goes to higher frequencies, but realize the physical realms always has a purpose in some form or another. And basically also you're here to understand the lower dimensions, how they operate. Doesn't mean you have to know all aspects of it, but if you're going to spiritual growth, there's going to be lower dimensional energies, because realize in the higher dimensions there is, in this non-physical realms, there is light and dark, or however more the angelic beings and demonic energies, and they all know each other. They all, doesn't mean you have to always be connected to opposite of yourself, but they do exist. They do coexist together in some form or another. And as you go through your spiritual growth, become more aware of it. Doesn't mean you have to know everything about the lower dimensions, but at least have some aspect of it, basically some self-respect to know yourselves in this. Because basically you want to come into your power, but the idea is to deserve this power, you're going to use it correctly, things like that. So the eclipse frequency, it's just an aspect of just new energies, basically, but it doesn't mean you're going to have superpowers. Somebody feel that you are. Imagine there's somebody coming up with that idea. or just like the events. The world's going to be, I mean, the world's always different every day. You're just not always aware of it. Of course, you also have news events, but those are mostly manipulations. It's basically becoming more aware of your aspect of yourself. So basically, this incarnation is basically more knowing more about yourself when it comes down to it. An idea for the eclipse is to inch your way towards that. It's like you're scrapping off the old, allowing, say, like new pains, or you're to see the rough exterior of yourself. Whatever it is, everyone's different. So yeah, the eclipse operates so different with others, but some do need a major cleansing, and sometimes a new timeline altogether. So it's not always going to make itself completely clear. So let's just follow your highest good, though. So let's see. Brings you the consciousness of the planet Neptune. Realize it's not necessarily aquatic water energies. That's basically what your world would call it, but it is fine to call Neptune or the planet itself whatever you wish to. Of course, there's a hierarchy that did that. Many of you individually might call it something different, or not even think about it. But basically, the physical realms. I mean, obviously, you see the gas planets. They're here in some kind of physical form, and some of them, that's the best aspect. They can reach a physical form as a gas type frequency. Now, in your world, you have a hard rock frequency, or similar to also Martian energy. And to have that rough exterior usually means a rougher reality, at least in your world's aspects. Doesn't mean that you can't live on an Andromedan world that still has a third dimension aspect. It's just that it's like you can talk to the mountain more clearly. If it is still kind of rough, you can just feel the vibrations more clearly. Of course, you can feel them here too, but you can also kind of see through it. It's rough, but it has a different roughness on other worlds, physical worlds, than this one. This one is, yes, you climb the mountain, one wrong move, and possibly might survive. And of course, I might choose a exit point for that. But basically, it's just there are physical realms that know more about themselves, and just to like clear out the clutter. This world is all about clutter, as you can see, and that is unique and necessary for growth. Might as well. There's always going to be a chaos world at some point. You can say Jupiter has their version of it. Saturn does. Jupiter actually has a great deal of that, but not in a physical reality. Of course, you're not here to see that, but some of you might be able to tap into some of that frequency. But your world does have a purpose. Of course, it wouldn't be here if it did not. Well, a lot of non-physical beings don't believe worlds like this exist. And it's just like a rough exterior in the physical realm. It's just the physical realm has a purpose. And yes, this one's more lethal than others, but necessary. And it's not going anywhere either. Yes, it might be healed to some level, but it's not going to leave it's not going, just because a lot of humans here, or the spiritual humans, don't want the physical realm, doesn't mean this one. The idea is to realize the physical realms do have a purpose, and they're going to stay here no matter what. The more that you don't want it to be here, the longer it will be here. So, and there's a lot of non-physical beings who have a lot of hatred or dislike, however you want to word it, towards the physical realms. Of course, this one has a lot of lower dimensional frequencies, but there's different aspects of the physical realm, and this is one of the more harshest, but once again, necessary. Well, it's because it's like to show like or experience the lower dimension beings of how they, to see how powerful they are, but also to see how powerful you are too. Yes, it's like going to the gym. That's one aspect of it. You're doing a lot of soul recovery, a lot of soul damage, and also a lot of soul work on yourself and others. And it's just you're going deeper into this consciousness But basically, it does come down to self-love. That's a part of it. The other part is what can you learn here in this realm, because it is necessary. It doesn't mean many of you come here often. What can you learn about yourself? It's not just a survival purpose. It realize what you're getting out of it, and it might not always show itself, or you tell yourself not to know it because the deeper that you go, because you're doesn't mean you have to go deeper into more negativity, but it can go deeper into some challenges. Of course, there's individuals here that put themselves with challenges that don't need to, and yes, they can drag the vibrations around and drag you around. That happens also. But some of you are assisting others in some form or another. But diving deep into this world's consciousness is you're not telling yourself why you came here, so you keep diving deeper and deeper to just what you can find, whatever that might be, and it's not going to always make itself clear. So just it has its magic around it. Doesn't mean you have to keep coming back here. Some of you are releasing this physical realm finally. Some, not to say even trapped here, but there's just been a part of curiosity. There's been just a cycle that, once you incarnate here, have a bit of a fractal of this realm. And you can say this world itself calls you back into some aspects. So basically, you're coming to heal yourself, but also, you're healing what you're going through currently. But when you're going here currently, like I say, you are diving as far as you can while you're here. Might as well, at least as far as what you feel is comfortable with. It's on a soul level. It's up to you. But like I said, it all has a purpose. It's not going to make itself completely clear until you finally had enough of being completely challenged. But because you can do it, many of you just continue on. And that's you get less answers, because as you go, like in the ocean, you go deeper and deeper. It gets thicker and thicker. That's where many of you are currently. But you'd be surprised how many of you are surviving it too. Don't even realize you're in those situations either. So we'll just leave you with that. Blessings.